Hello, Craig.
Oh, hello.
We don't have that other guy with us this week, but we're going to be talking about Superman, which just came out last week. Of course, Superman 2025, directed by James Gunn. With all that being said, this movie needs no introduction. Craig, what do you think of the new Superman movie?
I liked it.
Okay. I also liked it. I don't know if I loved it. I might have to see it again, but I thought it was good. Not great, but I thought it was good. And I think at this point, that's all DC needs to be.
To be honest, I have to admit, I probably was a little disappointed. I was expecting it to actually be like a lot better than what I thought it was. So that's probably my fault for expecting better.
Yes, yes. I think the Suicide Squad, the one from 2021, is a lot better than this.
Even some of the Guardians movies I thought were better.
Yeah, I enjoyed the Suicide Squad a lot more than Superman. I think the story is a little all over the place, and I don't know. I don't think I have any other. I think the story really was just what did it for me, why I didn't like it too much.
Because I know he's talked a lot about how he doesn't want to keep retelling Superman's origin, but I do feel that there's a strength in doing that. You kind of get to see where the character comes from, get to learn more about them, why they do what they do. Kind of starting in the middle of the story, there's downsides to it. Like they're kind of giving us all this exposition, trying to figure out where to start from. They tell us that he just lost his first fight ever. It's been 3 years since he's been Superman.
Mm-hmm.
He's been
Three
dating Lois.
3 months. It's been 3,000 years since the metahumans, I believe it said right in the beginning. That they were introduced to the world, right? It was 3,000 years.
Yeah, maybe that's Vandal Savage or something, but
Yeah, then 30
yeah,
years was Clark Kent landing on Earth, and then it's been 3 years since he's been Superman. See, I
yeah, because
think it felt a little overstuffed, where I do wish, not so much with the origin of the parents, or just Clark Kent's origin story in general. I think I would have liked to see the tail end of the fight, or maybe him interfering with that conflict that they talked about and referenced so heavily in the beginning. I think that would have been better.
Well, I also have a problem with that intervention because I feel like this is where you start to get too realistic. Having Superman start ending international conflicts because he deemed one country to be a good guy, the other country to be the bad guy. I don't know. It starts against that realm of it's a little too realistic having superheroes fight wars for you. I don't know. It doesn't sit well with me because I feel like you're entering an uncomfortable territory where superheroes kind of like being essentially cops catching a bad guy in action. I feel like that's like the commonly accepted what superheroes can do, stopping world-ending threats. When they start intervening in wars and determining this guy is an evil dictator, I must stop him from killing people. It's like I don't know. It's a little too realistic. People don't really like that in real life, and I feel like I don't know. It doesn't sit well with me because it feels you're entering a realm where you don't want to go. It's too realistic,
Well, I
or
guess the angle for that is Superman is just too naive because he's looking at it that people are dying and he wants to stop it, but he clearly doesn't understand all the ramifications of doing that. His angle is I just want to save lives. So he's naive to a fault, or I guess naive is not really a good thing, but
I can
that's his
understand that
angle.
part of it,
Yeah.
but you could extend that to anything. Don't let people get someone's drunk, don't let them get into a car. He could do tons of stuff like that. Anything that would save lives.
That's true. That didn't bother me too much because I personally did not mind the movie kind of starting the way it did. Because again, I think everybody knows the Batman origin story, Superman. We've seen it 3 times in movies. Don't really need to see it again.
I don't agree with that. I don't mind seeing it again because this is supposed to be your Superman for the next 20 years. You think you'd want to know how he starts out, assuming this lasts forever, but
I don't
it's a good
know.
origin too. It's iconic for a reason.
But then I guess it comes into the thing of, well, are we going to rehash the way that it looks in the Donner one? Are we going to do the Snyder one? I don't know. I personally, I guess that's what we'll disagree. I personally didn't mind skipping the origin story. I guess the biggest thing, and again, I must preface, I have never read a single Superman comic. I know nothing about Superman in the comics. So with the parents, I didn't really mind the change where the parents were kind of evil. Where like you're going into this sub world where these people can bow down to you on a whim and you can conquer them. Because then it kind of goes to the theme that Clark Kent or Superman at his core is a human. He lives as a human. He just has powers, but everything he knows about life is through a human. So
Basically, he
that's
tells Lex at the end.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, they kind of reinforced it. But when he's watching memories as a kid with his family, the Ma Kent and Pa Kent, I thought, when does Pa Kent die in canon? I was surprised he's still alive. I thought he was gonna die in this, if I'm being honest.
So I think him dying is more of a movie thing because I know in the TV show his dad doesn't die. In the
Oh,
comics, I don't think his dad dies. I think that's really just a movie thing.
that was a Donner thing?
Yes, and they of course copied it much worse in Man of Steel.
Well, yes. It was done a lot better in Donner because, again, the whole point of that was with all of his powers, he can't save everybody, especially the person he loves. But I liked the ending, at least. I thought the ending was good.
Yeah, yeah. It just part of the reason why I kind of want to see the origin too is because I think of the MCU Spider-Man and what a disaster he is, and I think it would have helped if they showed his origin because they never showed it, and when they tried to introduce it, they basically just destroyed it. Then like Aunt May tells him his iconic line, it never sat right with me, and this kind of feels the same way. It didn't sit right with me not having the origin.
So if they do a hypothetical Batman movie, which they're going to do at some point, you'd want to see an origin story. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. It depends how they do it because Batman's origin story is a little more one note. His parents get killed, that drives him like obsessively to become a superhero. Superman, I think, is a little more important. His origin, it kind of shapes his whole belief system. Batman, it's one traumatic event shapes him. Like you don't have to see him training. That I don't think is as important.
Mhm.
Like I feel like when these characters are more good, you kind of want to see why they're good. Something like Batman is a bit of a psycho, so
Well, this
a
movie did
traumatic
do that,
event
though.
shaping him.
Through his parents. At the midway through, they go to the Kansas farm and he sees his dad, Pa Kent. And again, that's what the whole theme of the movie also is that where you're from doesn't determine who you are. It's like, doesn't matter where you come from. What matters is what you do now.
Yeah, but as a bit of more of a tangent, was that actually confirmed? Was the message of his dad actually what Lex said it was?
So when I saw it, we saw it together. I interpreted it as original. Maybe I missed a line. I could be entirely wrong. I thought he had his coders deceive it, but maybe there was a line that said it was true.
Because
And
they said it was true, but how could you believe a word of what Lex Luthor says? Like, I mean, it's not the most important thing, though, because it goes to what you're saying, how that all works well for the movie. It's just, I do not believe a word Lex Luthor says.
yeah, I don't know. Oh, I think it's someone said Mr. Terrific confirmed that it was true. Who, by the way, I thought he was cool. I don't know who that guy is. Again, know nothing about DC Comics. I thought he was cool, Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, again, a lot of my knowledge comes from those DC shows in the late 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah, they had obviously Mr. Terrific. They had Metamorpho, who was that guy that can create any known substance, I believe, was the power, or was it he can replicate any known substance? So he was just torturing Superman and Lex's. There's so much to talk about because there's so many crazy things in this movie. But Lex has an interdimensional prison where he sticks everybody from ex-lovers to literally anyone. And they have poor Metamorpho there to torture people, and he uses kryptonite. And in this one, kryptonite physically drains you. It physically hurts him. His face sinks in more. Because the other ones, he was like, "Oh, I'm so weak." But this one, it like actually shows an effect on him physically instead of just
It's more
him
visceral as
losing his
opposed to
strength.
just it's almost like he goes, oh, like when like people faint, they put their hand on their head and like
Yeah,
you see him actually dying.
yeah. What else was I
Yep.
going to say? Guy
Lex is a
Gard.
mad
Yeah,
genius.
they had Guy Gardner, who I know nothing about. Green Lantern.
So I was going to give a little info to you.
Yes, yes,
So there's the original Green Lantern, but no one really remembers him, Alan Scott. The new original people think of as Hal Jordan,
yes,
aka Ryan Reynolds.
and John Stewart, Hal
Yes,
Stewart,
he's actually the third, John Stewart.
John
I
Stewart.
think it was
Okay,
Guy Gardner, then John Stewart. Then there's a bunch of other ones, but those are like the main three that people remember:
right.
Hal, John, and
I remember
Guy
John
Gardner.
was in the cartoon.
Yes.
That's how I
And
know
f
him.
and funny enough, he sort of dates Hawkgirl, but this is like a different version of Hawkgirl.
Okay, this one looks like a kid.
I don't know. The one in the TV show is an alien. I don't know what this one is, if it's a human or I don't know. She barely had any screen time.
Right.
Though she kills a head of state, so I
She
don't know. She
does.
might be in
Is
trouble.
that a war crime?
I don't know if it's a war crime, but I can imagine it's a big no-no, like having a superhero. Like that's what I mean, like having superheroes kill presidents. I don't know. It starts down to that realm of like it's a little too realistic for me, where I get a little uncomfortable. Like, you're entering a realm with a story where I feel like superheroes shouldn't go.
When the trailer came out, I remember thinking, because I think I said this last week or 2 weeks ago, where we just offhandedly talked about the trailer. Maybe it was our last episode, Jurassic World. The trailer did look really overstuffed with too many characters, but I think the movie doesn't feel overstuffed with characters, but it focuses on characters at a certain time, and not all the attention is on Superman. So if you're really looking forward to it being just purely Superman, even Man of Steel was like that, even though that movie's not good. So I guess you'd be a little more disappointed that the main focus is not on Superman all the time.
But see, again, that would work if this was a sequel where you don't have to spend so much time building him
Yes, I
up.
do agree with that. Oh, Krypto. They had little dog who I thought he could talk because I remember in the cartoon they actually had a show. Craig, you probably remember in the mid 2000s.
Yes.
Krypto, the super dog, and they had Bat Dog. I think Bat Dog had a name. There was this orange cat that could fly. He had a blue cape.
Well, yeah, Bat Dog, I think was funny. I think they have like a Batman cowl on.
Yeah, he had the same like speech pattern as Batman. He's so stern and stoic. Krypto, Krypto. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember it's almost like lost media. Like you almost forget it exists.
That's what I was thinking of. And Krypto in this movie is just like a little rat where he's just so bad.
Personally, not an anti-dog person, but I think it overstayed his welcome. The constant jokes about like how he was horrible.
Yeah.
Like he was like so poorly behaved, like constantly attacking people. Dogs misbehaving can actually get people killed. A Superman powered dog misbehaving is a nightmare. Like imagine he
Yeah.
throws somebody like they go splacks to hit a building.
Imagine he just sees a young child walking unattended. Oh God.
Well, like a pit bull.
Yeah, a pit bull.
I don't know. Like some of
It
those
was funny
jokes
the
didn't bother
first
me.
time, and that's gonna be a point we're gonna talk about in a little bit too, with the humor. But it was funny the first couple times where Superman's trying to walk. Well, in the beginning, Superman is beaten down, he's bleeding, he's coughing up blood, and then Krypto shows up, and then he doesn't help him immediately. He bites at him, and then a hurt Superman's like, "Stop, please stop." He's pleading this dog to stop biting him, and then you find out in this Fortress of Solitude, Krypto wrecked everything, and then he just starts biting Superman as he's trying to walk out. He's like, "Stop, Krypto,
See, that
stop!"
probably would have been fine if they kept doing it over and over and over again. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Because then he appeared when they get to the Fortress of Solitude, Luthor. There's actually a scene, I don't know if this is
Yes,
true,
I
but they
did hear
said
about it. You're talking about, oh God, what's that guy's name? The villain.
Ultraman.
Ultraman. He punches Krypto. I think they said maybe it was in the Fortress of Solitude or later on in the movie, and test audiences hated it, even though it's a CGI super dog. It's not like he's kicking little Charlie, an actual rescue animal from a shelter. It's a CGI super dog, and it's a bad guy.
He's a
doing
bad
it.
guah.
Yeah, it's not like Lois is just kicking it. I
That's
did see
what I
that
didn't
though.
get.
Yeah.
Because people are, memeing like, the bad guy does bad things.
Oh,
The
no.
horror. I'm not pro animal violence, but if bad guy does something bad, I feel like that should help you hate him, right? I mean, it's
Yeah. Well,
the service of the story. It's
yes.
not like you're.
Do you remember when we talked about Guardians 3, where the evolutionary or high evolutionary guy was just horribly testing on these animals, and it just made you hate him more? Because in a way, the movie's doubling down with how evil this guy is. Because yeah, murderer, yeah, people, when you watch movies, your eyes gloss. Yeah, I've seen this before. But a guy who is sickly testing on animals, that's where people draw the line. And I think that's what I liked about Guardians 3 is that he had that visceral evil where he's doing actual just evil things. Well, I shouldn't say actual. He's a bad dude all around. But it just makes the audience hate him more. And
There's none of
it's
that
more
fake redemption
satisfying.
stuff.
And they don't make him likable because that's all Marvel is. Oh, we gotta have a likable villain. Ooh. Double down on how evil someone is.
He's irredeemable.
Yeah, make him irredeemable, and it makes it so much more satisfying when the heroes dispose of that piece of trash. So yeah, to your point, I don't know why they cut it out. A bad guy doing bad things, punching a super dog. It's not like he disemboweled the dog. He just punched him.
Yeah, it's pretty, I don't want to say tame, but of all the things that you could do as a bad guy, an evil Superman,
Yes.
I think punching it is enough to get the point across he's a bad guy without getting to the realm of, I guess, torturing animals or torturing CGI animals.
Well, because Krypto was entirely CGI. They had a stand-in, but he was purely digital, I believe. So no animals were harmed. What did you think of Lex Luthor?
It's hard because to me, the definitive Lex Luthor is
the one from the cartoon. I know you said that last time.
He's so perfect. Like he's so evil, but he's so kind of charismatic. He has like a weight to him. This one definitely had the evilness.
He did.
But I feel like he wasn't intimidating enough. Like he almost came off as like not a tech bro, but he has like that look to him where he wasn't. It's hard to describe. He didn't. I think that Lex Luthor is perfect. Like everything about him. Like he's like cunning. He's incredibly smart. This guy again. He's got a lot of those characteristics as well. Just something's missing for me. But probably I think the best one we've seen. So there's that.
Yes, live action. He's definitely the best because the Gene Hackman one is kind of hokey, and then the
Kevin wants real estate.
Yeah, the Kevin Spacey one. I personally think the Kevin Spacey one's better than the Hackman one.
Yeah,
he it's like up the ante with that.
Wrong!
And this one I think is probably the. I mean, listen, the Jesse Eisenberg one is just terrible. So there's no comparing the new one to that is a fool's errand. But yeah,
I mentioned
I thought he was
mentioned
good.
Tech Bro,
Yeah, I thought
but
Lex
that was, yeah, it was
Luthor was good in this. He's funny. He's a hater, and I like it.
bad.
I saw so many memes about that where someone said, "Who's the bigger hater, Lex Luthor or Eddie Brock from Spider-Man 3?" And then they were deliberating. They're like, "Oh well, Lex Luthor does X, Y, and Z in the movie, but Eddie Brock went straight to God and asked him to kill a man, kill a photographer." He didn't even know he was Spider-Man.
I saw another meme like that. Was it Who's the Biggest Hater? And they compared the Green Goblin from No Way Home or whatever that stupid title was. Green Goblin being the hater, he showed up for like 10 minutes and tried to kill everyone around him. That's boring. It's not hating, that's just being psychotic.
Yeah, that's a psychopath.
This guy's a hater. I mean, spending years trying to get rid of Superman.
Yeah,
He
and
had
studying.
he had a farm of monkeys typing away on the
Yes,
keyboard, writing
that was
hate
the
messages.
funniest part of the movie for me. It was so absurd, but so funny. He has a whole, as you said, a whole army of monkeys typing hate comments on the internet.
I think that was the best part of the movie. Did you ever hear of the infinite monkey theorem?
No.
Oh, so there's this kind of like a joke theorem where if you were to get like an infinite amount of monkeys on a typewriter, at some point, one monkey randomly pounding away at the keyboard will be able to complete like some Shakespeare play or some work of Shakespeare.
What?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Look it up.
I'll look it up later when I'm editing this.
It's true. So that's the first thing I thought of, that a monkey is enough monkeys typing on a keyboard can have some coherent hate comments at Superman. Even if they're like, I think they had stuff on their head, so they're probably a little bit smarter, but the fact they have an army of monkeys just constantly typing hate at Superman is just hilarious.
Yeah.
And there was a joke too where Superman was talking about how I get so much hate online. I don't really look at it, but he does look at it. Well, now we know why. It's a bunch of monkeys typing away.
Controlled by Lex Luthor. I like too. I don't know if I don't think a lot of people like this, but because they're saying, oh, Superman is slow. I guess, I don't know, he's not a good fighter. But Lex Luthor knows his moves so well. He's such a hater that he studied intensively all of his moves, and he's commanding people to press combinations for Ultraman to beat up Superman.
Yeah,
I like that.
He's got like the Xbox controller,
Yeah.
like he's beating him up.
It's like Mortal Kombat. You got to do the combos to do, or the inputs to do a move. I like that. I know some people didn't like that because they said, duh, stupid, duh. But I thought it was enjoyable because at least with these villains, they're doing something different. It's not equal Kryptonian, I'm gonna punch you in the face, I have your same powers. It's Lex Luthor extensively studying Superman's fighting abilities and habits and then using it against him.
I think it makes sense for his character. He's supposed to be one of the smartest people on Earth.
And he's obsessed with Superman. He hates Superman.
And it's not like Superman's a trained fighter either. He's just a guy who's so much stronger and more powerful than the people he fights that he's probably never honed his fighting skills. Just, I'm stronger than you, I can punch you harder.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's like the Hulk versus Thanos. Superman is Hulk, where he's not an expert hand to hand. At least this is my interpretation, because I'm sure someone will say, well, Justice League Volume 2 from 1983. It's just,
Yeah, it's pre-crisis.
Whatever, I don't even know what that means. He's so strong, he doesn't even have to worry about fighting ability or fighting hand to hand, because he just overpowers everybody. It's like the Hulk. And then Thanos shows up, someone of equal strength, and just beats him up.
Yeah, they're not used to it.
Yeah.
Plus, I like too, they'd have to rely on kryptonite. I don't really like kryptonite. I feel like it's such like a cheap way to knock out Superman. I feel like someone just being stronger than him is a scarier thing than just, oh, I got this magic rock that automatically kills you.
But they don't use kryptonite when he's fighting someone of equal strength. They use kryptonite a lot when it's Superman against Lex Luthor. Because realistically, Superman could rip him in half in 2 seconds.
Oh, of course. I feel like a lot of villains seem to have kryptonite. Like, that's how they be. Like, they can't be his equal, or like they're smarter than him, or...
Well, at least in this one has an excuse. Because Metamorpho, they use him to get the kryptonite. So it's not like Lex Luthor had kryptonite lying around in his chest under his bed. He used an alien, or whatever he is, a metahuman, to obtain the kryptonite.
Literally, yeah. Well, also Lex Luthor, yeah. That didn't bother me, but I like characters like
You're just talking about in
Darkseid
general.
In general.
Okay.
Where I think it's kind of lame. It's like, oh, I got this magic rock that'll kill you. Now it's a fair fight, even though it really isn't. Lex getting it works because Lex is, again, the biggest hater, and he's smart enough to find other ways to get a hold of it. That's why I like Darkseid. He's stronger than Superman. He's more powerful. He's smarter. He's a threat.
Well, they have to bring in the strongest of the strong to have someone beat Superman.
Yeah, sure. Like, oh, this guy's an actual threat. He doesn't need a magic rock to beat the strongest guy.
He just got his hands ready to eat for everyone. What did you think of the rest of the cast? Lois, Jimmy Olsen.
I am once again asking you, Colin,
Yeah.
Why does he like Lois Lane?
I don't know, Craig. At least in
I
this
mean
one,
this
I said this
sincerely.
last time for Superman Returns, Lois does something. At least this Lois does more than that. She joins, they figure out at least she's more useful than the other Lois. Lois is, Lois I, Lois plural. This one is probably the best live action, which isn't a high bar, but it is still the best live action nonetheless. Because she helps, they do help figure out that Luthor is funding that one country. So at least she's
Yeah, I know she
useful.
does stuff. It just, I don't, I never get why they're together. She's like the opposite of everything I think Superman would want in a woman.
I do think this
I
is the
don't know.
best Lois.
It's not saying much, but
I know it's not, but I'm still saying it. What do you think of Jimmy? What do you think of Mr. Jimmy Olsen, Superman's best
he
friend?
was fine. Didn't do much. He just,
He,
I guess all the women love him.
yeah, he has that. He's got the riz, as the kids say. He's got the irresistible charm.
It was fine. I guess he worked over Tessmacher.
Yes, I looked in the credits. I don't know if they said her last name in the movie, but I saw it said whatever actress this is as Eve Tessmacher.
Tessmacher.
So I guess that's a nice little homage. And speaking of homages, I did tell you this in the theater because you probably wouldn't have known. And I only knew this because I saw this was announced a couple days or a week before the movie came out. That Christopher Reeve's son, I forget his name, but his son had a cameo in the movie as a reporter. I couldn't think of the word. As a reporter on the scene. And in real life, he is a news anchor, I think. So that was a nice little touch. What is his name? Oh, Will Reeve. He works for ABC News. So that was a nice little homage.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, I thought it was really nice. And speaking of cameos too, we got Peacemaker. So
Oh yeah.
I did not see Peacemaker season 1, but I'm curious how they're gonna introduce him into the new DCU or whatever this is, DCEU.
So I did look it up.
Okay, you can tell me.
Season 1 is not canon, but season 2 is, even though it's a continuation of season 1.
Okay.
Yes, you heard that correctly.
Okay.
So it feels like James Gunn's toys get to stay in the new universe.
Well, to be fair, I did see that Peacemaker season 1 got really good reviews. Seemed like a lot of people liked it. So it's not like he's continuing, I don't know, Justice League from Zack Snyder's toys, you know?
Well, it's just weird because
It is weird. It is.
because Peacemaker 2 is going to be canon. So that implies season 1 is partially canon, which implies the Suicide Squad is partially canon, which also then implies the original Suicide Squad is partially canon. There's this vague, maybe it's canon, maybe it isn't until they confirm otherwise. I think you're better after starting clean saying, yes, none of this is canon. We're just starting fresh slate.
I was under the impression that they would have done something where he gets into an alternate universe, and I feel
Nope.
like maybe that would have been better than doing this soft reboot, but it's a continuation of a non-canonized season. It makes no sense. It's like a paradox.
It's also weird too because the only thing that's basically staying is Peacemaker of all the characters. I think everyone else has been recast for the most part.
No, I think I saw the trailer. A lot of people from the show are back.
No, from the show, but talking about like the rest of like the movie characters.
Oh yeah, Maxwell Lord is played by Sean Gunn, James Gunn brother.
Yeah, and they had Rick Flag Sr., but again,
Yes.
the references his son is dead. I don't understand why.
Did they say that his son is dead?
I saw somewhere in the notes of like the movie that his son's dead.
Oh.
So again, the Suicide Squad still happened.
Right. Well, one thing I did not like, that actually just went over my head. I forgot that Rick Flag died in the Suicide Squad for a second. I completely forgot. One thing I did not like at the end was, I mean, I know nothing about Supergirl again. Her portrayal as this young party drunk girl, I don't know if I'm gonna like that. She shows up
Yeah,
at the very end and I was like, ooh, this is just too much.
So once again, Colin, my knowledge of Supergirl is only from the TV
yes,
show.
I know. I know!
And it's not like that in the TV show. But Supergirl's the next movie they're making.
Yes,
right?
they filmed it already.
Oh, already.
Yeah, so I'm assuming it's going to be the second movie, unless there's another one they already made.
Well, have you looked at their slate for Chapter 1, Gods
and Monsters? No, I did not actually. Probably should have, but I did not.
So James Gunn has talked about how they don't want to be like Marvel, and I get you want to copy them directly, but he said like, oh, we don't want to build towards anything. We kind of want to just have people like Star Wars, you can kind of hop on, hop off whenever you want, and then there's no overall build up to something like Thanos over the course of 20 movies. And I feel like that's a mistake. I feel like just kind of doing whatever you feel like doing is not that you're gonna make bad movies, but I feel like it's gonna not keep the interest of people long term.
Yeah, because people in the back of their minds, they want their movies to, yeah, as you said, build up to something even bigger, like Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3 of the MCU.
Because I know these are technically movies, and someone's gonna say, I guess they're movies, but this is structured more like a TV show where you kind of want your TV show to lead up to something. You don't want to watch a soap opera. You kind of want to watch your TV show have a conclusion.
Episodic is the word I think it feels like for this, where they're not going to have a overall connection to something bigger. They're just their own separate thing because
And
you go.
I'm saying not that it can't work. I just feel it's a mistake.
Yes.
And not even to chase Marvel's money. I just feel like for even like wanting to be a storyteller and you want to have some sort of like grand plan for everything. Maybe not you're gonna plan things out 20 phases in a row like what Marvel says they do, but at the very least, okay, we're gonna like build up the Justice League, the core characters, then we're gonna have so on and so forth, keep adding characters, maybe build up the Dark Side or I don't know, Brainiac, some big character that
Well,
want to fight.
To interrupt you, I'm looking at the slate right now, and it's Superman, Supergirl, Clayface, The Authority, which has nobody attached, no director or screenwriter, just as in development. The Brave and the Bold is in development, and so is Swamp Thing. And then it says other films. It has Untitled Teen Titans film, Untitled Bane and Deathstroke film, Sergeant Rock.
Yes.
Untitled Wonder Woman film and Untitled Justice League. So
That Justice League was just added recently, so I wonder if they changed their mind slightly.
maybe they did. I listen. I think they definitely know what to do and know what not to do because they just saw what not to do for the whole Snyderverse. So
Well, that's easy.
I am praying to God that again, I'm not really a DC guy. I like Superman from the movies, not boring Superman from the comics. I like him from the movies, but
We're also missing out much TV shows they're making too.
yeah, that's just films I'm looking at because I know it's. Oh yes, it's Creature Commandos, which came out already, I guess. I don't know what that is. Peacemaker, The
That Rick Flag
Lanterns.
Senior in it.
Okay, The Lanterns, which does have Kyle Chandler, I believe, as Hal
Hal
Jordan.
Jordan. Yeah, and Guy Gardner and Jon Stewart
Yeah.
are going to be in it.
Waller, Paradise Lost, Booster Gold. Again, I don't know what any of this is.
So Amanda Waller, you saw her.
Yeah, I know her. I know her.
Paradise Lost is apparently they're gonna have some sort of like political conflict on Themyscira. Don't know why. I don't know why you choose the name Paradise Lost, if you know what that is. That doesn't make sense. And Booster Gold is a superhero from the future who's kind of a loser but comes back to the present to kind of look more competent.
I know who Blue Beetle is because Miguel was in a Blue Beetle movie. I know Teen Titans. Remember the cartoon from the early 2000s? I remember that. I remember the Trouble in Tokyo movie. That was cool.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's people always think of the Teen Titans, like the definitive cast.
Yeah,
I
Cyborg
guess-
was cool in it.
Booyah! They would say
Yeah.
in the movie.
He looks like a cheap knockoff toy in the Snyder movies. Like a
arm
cheap
got locked and he
RoboCop knockoff.
I know because the recent comics have made him a Justice League member, but for me,
He's always Teen
in
Titans.
our Zoomer hearts, he's a Teen Titans guy. This chapter is supposed to end with the Justice League movie, assuming that's time of this recording. That's what we think is the last movie of their chapter one. Who's going to even be on the team? Because they seem to be having a bunch of random characters. Obviously, Superman, probably Batman. There's an untitled Wonder Woman movie. So those three. But,
Batman's
who else
son,
are they going to have?
Robin.
Yeah, Damian Wayne.
Yeah.
Just who are they going to put? Like, Metamorpho is a Justice League member,
Probably
but I don't know if
the-
they'd want to include him.
What's it called? Justice Gang?
Hawkgirl? Those three?
That's a lot
I
of
don't
people
know.
they could put, Craig.
I don't know. It's not like the traditional. Like, there's not going to be an Aquaman. There's not going to be a Martian Manhunter.
Now, Martian Manhunter would be cool.
Yeah, he was always my favorite on the Justice League, but
So, Craig, let's
Um,
talk about humor now.
yes.
I know humor is subjective, and James Gunn can sometimes overdo his humor a little bit. I thought this one did overdo the humor a little bit at points, but overall, I wasn't annoyed. So,
The only time I got annoyed was at the end when Superman finally confronts Lex in this little floating control center, and then Krypto throws him around as like Lex is trying to berate Superman in person. It bothers me because they always have this habit of every time someone's a bad guy, they have to throw them around and beat them up.
oh, okay, yeah, the Marvel did that with Loki.
Yeah, they have to feel like, oh, he's bad, so let's rough him up a bit. Like, Lex, I understand you want to, but if someone's gonna rough him up to Superman, don't have your dog, oh, he just can't behave himself. Like, we've seen that joke how many times already?
Yeah, Krypto, they overdid him a little bit too much. Some of the dialogue in the beginning was a little, not rough, but too quippy. I didn't really like. But then again, you're going into it, you see James Gunn's name, you know what you're getting yourself into. And I don't mean that as a bad thing, it's just, you know by now what his style is and what his humor is. So anyone coming into this movie being surprised by anything is just a fool. Because you have the Guardians movies, you have three of those things, and you have the Suicide Squad to gauge where his humor is.
But again, that's why I feel like he should stick to those kinds of movies that fits his style better.
Yes, it doesn't really fit a Superman. I did like, we didn't really mention at all David Cornsweet, who plays Superman. I thought he was good. I don't know if you could say he's the best live action, because I think, I mean, we're not boomers. Christopher Reeve is great. I think Christopher Reeve is still the definitive Superman, and I thought Brandon Routh is pretty good too, but he's definitely up there, I thought. I thought he was good. He was able, in that interview, I thought was really cool is that he was able to turn on the Superman persona. He arches his back. He talks more clear. Little details like that I always like, because they did that in the
Yeah, he's got
Reeve
the
and
busted
the
haircut.
Routh. Yeah. And they mentioned too that his glasses, they offhandedly mentioned that it tricks people into seeing something a little different than Clark, because obviously all Superman does is fix his hair and he takes off his glasses. So they
I don't know.
they made a little comment on that. I was like, okay.
I didn't really like that.
You don't need to explain everything,
But I
but
feel like that does explain everything. That oh, that's why no one recognized him. He's got his super special hypnotic glasses. I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna go all in, go all in. Make it so yeah, he makes no effort to hide himself. So what?
no, I think that's always the charm too, that it's just something everyone ignores. In the grand scheme of things, it does not matter.
Yeah, it didn't ruin the movie. It just I was like, I
No,
don't
no,
care
I
for it.
wasn't talking about that. I was just talking about in general, where Clark Kent not hiding his identity as Superman.
I know it's
In
almost like a
yeah,
joke.
in the grand scheme, does not matter. I was surprised the ending where Lex intentionally creates a multi-dimensional rift that is ripping apart Krypton. I don't know if it was multi-dimensional, whatever. It was just a bunch of jargon. But it was creating a rift that was ripping Metropolis in half. And it felt a little Man of Steel-ish at the end with the mass destruction. But at least in this one, they made it a point. People were evacuating. Superman was trying to still save and help. But I
Well,
thought
that's
it
a
was a little. I
difference.
thought it was a
It
little
wasn't
bit
caused
too
by
much.
Superman.
I know it wasn't caused by him, but to me, the mass destruction in your first introduction movie was a little much. And maybe that might be a taste thing, but
It
I
didn't
don't
bother
know.
me because it showed me like the callousness of Lex Luthor. He's like, I don't care if this destroys the planet, destroys how much. I'm going to get Superman. I am so determined to kill him. I'm
That
going
is
to
true.
sacrifice the city.
That is true. That guy is a
Because everyone was like,
psychopath.
because all of his engineers or whatever were telling him, sir, that's gonna do so much damage. Like, I don't care.
I
Keep
want
it
to
on. I
be
don't care. Don't
Superman,
turn it off.
yeah. And even when he was caught, Superman was there. He didn't back down. He still
I know
wanted to
Mr.
let it
Terrific had
go.
to go and save the city.
Yeah, maybe you're right. It wasn't Man of Steel at the end, is what I'm saying. But there was
He didn't
mass
gently
destruction.
he didn't gently float over an oil tanker that blew up a parking deck.
Yes, he didn't do that. He saves everybody in this movie when he's fighting that giant monster in the middle-ish or the beginning. He blocks the fire, and then he turns back to the people in the building. He says, "Hey, everyone all right? Everyone good?" He saves a squirrel. The Man of Steel Superman would have just stood there contemplating, why do I have to do this? Looking miserable, not saving everybody. The kaiju could throw a whole boat at an orphanage, and then Superman would jump over it gently and let it kill everybody.
Father said, yeah, don't save people. It's a burden. You know, in fact, I think they had it coming.
I rewatched some clips from Man of Steel, and now everyone loves Henry Cavill as Superman. But at the time, I remember people were saying that, yeah, he's really stiff. He looks like Superman. I think that's what people love about it, or love about him and his performance, quote unquote, is that he looks Superman. It's just a super jacked guy in a bodysuit that they added even more muscles, if you can believe that. I saw behind the scenes footage too. They had muscle padding in his suit. And that guy he doesn't need it. He looks like Superman, but he can't really act too well. He's not really
Well,
a good actor.
if I'm being honest, I don't think people like him for his performance because again, you watch it, it's pretty stale, and I don't know if it's
He's a
him or it's
flat
the
line.
direction.
I think it's both. I think he's
Well,
just his interpretation, what he was told to do. I mean, maybe it is mostly Snyder and his vision and what the screenwriters are doing, but he was a flat line in Man of Steel.
yes, I think the love for him comes more for how he talks in interviews and
Yeah,
how
he's
he's
a
like very
nerd in real
passionate about his
life.
work.
Yeah, he likes playing games. Nothing wrong with that.
I think that's where the
I
love
think
for
I
him
did.
comes
It's like a
from.
revisionist history where he
Yeah.
almost missed the audition because he was playing World of Warcraft or Superman or something
It's like
crazy.
Warhammer.
Yeah, Warhammer, World of Warcraft. The difference in acting between these two Supermen is night and day, and that's not even the tone that Man of Steel was trying to do or whatever, but it's just
Movies like
how.
night and day.
Yeah, well, literally. But it's just how they act. And again, Henry Cavill, just a flat line of Man of Steel.
He just looks so upset the whole time.
Yeah, he's too stoic in that movie, except when he's screaming when he destroys Zod's neck. I saw also, because there are a lot of people who want this movie to fail. I shouldn't say a lot. It's a loud minority, the Snyder Bros, they're called, they want this movie to fail because they feel vexed by DC for getting rid of Snyder and all of his nonsense. So they're actively rooting for this movie to fail. I think Man of Steel technically, or it did have a better opening than this movie, but there's a lot of factors that go into that, especially the movie industry in 2013 is not what it is now. COVID ruined a lot of things. But this movie did get good reviews, Craig. It has a 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. It has a 68 on Metacritic and a 7.7 IMDb. All better than Man of Steel. So I'm wondering how the Snyder Bros are coping, because they keep moving the goalposts with their criticisms.
I just don't understand, like, to blame James Gunn for Zack Snyder's universe getting canceled. It wasn't James Gunn that really ended it. It was his movies. No one saw them. They didn't make money or make enough money that they wanted to continue it. And they bring in him to be like, okay, well, this isn't making money. Can you fix it? And he said, well, the best thing to do is just to start over, because at this point, I don't want to be like working someone's sloppy seconds. There's so many characters have been used and needs to be reworked. So 'cause
Yes.
even if he did come in and continue the Snyderverse, he still would have brought it in a direction they wouldn't have liked. So it doesn't make a difference either way
Well,
if
these
he
people
reboots it or takes
never
over.
wanted James Gunn to come in it. They wanted Snyder, who had like a 5-film arc for Superman or something crazy. So I don't know. I just see them
To make
complain
money.
online. Yeah, they didn't really make a whole lot. I mean, the only one that really made a lot of money was Wonder Woman, I believe, Aquaman, and ironically Batman vs Superman. But that was even considered a disappointment. I'm sure there's another couple that I don't have off the top, like I'm forgetting. But yeah, I like this new approach. I think just
I'll find you
maybe.
more specifically, the Snyder movies themselves didn't really make money.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, Man
Like
of Steel made a
specifically the
good
ones he
amount.
made.
Yeah, that one they made a good amount. And
Yeah, but like
technically,
everyone got worse after that.
oh yeah, well technically BVS did gross a lot, but that was considered a very big disappointment. They were expecting a billion, billion and a half, and it got under 900 million. So I think that movie might hold the record for the biggest second week drop ever. I'll have to look it up when I'm
It probably did, but
editing.
considering how many flops come out now, like probably it's a Marvel movie that has the biggest week dropper now. Because I feel like all these companies are putting out flops every other year, so it probably got broken.
Now, if you're comparing this to, let's just say, the Thunderbolts, which had come out this year, which one do you prefer?
It's hard to say because I do feel more of an attachment to Marvel, so I'm going to lean towards Marvel initially. And Thunderbolts was actually good, so it certainly helps.
I think I might lean towards the Thunderbolts too, only because that was actually, well, first off, I had no expectations going in, and I actually did have expectations going into Superman. So that's why I feel a little disappointed that it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. But I thought the Thunderbolts was really solid, and I think I would take the Thunderbolts over this. Not that this is like a piece of trash of a movie, but I think the Thunderbolts was just overall more solid.
Yeah, I kind of
This.
agree. I mean, maybe it'll slightly change. I mean, it's not like you said, we're not comparing it to Man of Steel or something where it's such an obvious, easy choice.
Yeah, I do want to see this again because I wonder if the second time I can notice more details or stuff that'll make me appreciate it more. But as of now, seeing it once, and we saw it on opening day or the day before it came out technically, and I was just like, I liked it. I didn't love it. I thought I was gonna love it, but I would still take that feeling of it's good, not great, over just seeing Man of Steel and BVS in theater. Walking out of those, I was like, what was that?
Yeah, because especially I think comparing it to the first Iron Man, like that was a really strong start for the MCU. This is
Yes.
not as strong, but still a good start. It's not Man of the Steel fumbling out of the gate. It's a good start. Not 10 out of 10, but still pretty good.
And we'll have to see, we'll have to monitor throughout our episodes how this does financially, because right now, as of today, it has grossed $232.9 million. And to show you how much it's changed in just a week, when I was editing Jurassic World, we record these on Tuesdays, that movie grossed around 330, and in a week, it crossed over the $500 million mark. So anything can happen. I do think this movie will probably struggle internationally because just Superman represents, truth, justice, and the American way. I don't think people in communist China are going to really take to that. But who
Yeah, probably
knows?
not.
The Chinese market, they love two things: monsters and robots. So they eat up Transformers, the Godzilla, the not Pacific Rim. What was the other one? The Jurassic
Atlantic
World, the
Rim?
dinosaurs. Yeah, they not Atlantic Rim. Get out of here. But they eat those things up. So I wonder how this is going to fare. in the
See, I
foreign
know,
market.
I know we talk about the box office more in like a detached, almost academic sense. Like, yeah, maybe let's see how it does financially. There are people who like constantly fighting online about how well it does financially. Like, my movie did better than your movie. It's like,
Well,
guess
that's
what?
what the Snyder Bros are fighting about, where they will ignore that the general consensus is, and of course, everyone has their own opinions. And I'm sure there are people that genuinely like Man of Steel, not because they worship whatever Zack Snyder. I'm sure there are people who actually like it, but the general consensus is that this is a lot better than Man of Steel. But the people who are the Snyder Bros, they will just defend that movie over anything, and they will constantly shift the goalpost. And I'm sure people on the gun side do that too with certain things, but it's just like the most pathetic thing to argue over. If you like the movie, watch it. If you don't care about it, don't watch it. I don't know what to say.
See, like I understand if these are maybe teenagers who are kind of bored arguing online, but like there's a lot of adults arguing about this, and
Yes.
it starts to become pretty pathetic. We're adults. I don't really care or have the patience or time to argue with a bunch of strangers online about how my favorite superhero movie is doing financially. Like I'm just happy if
Yeah.
it's a good movie. Like I didn't waste my time watching it.
I passively just check the box office just so you can get an idea of, oh, well, how is it going to do financially?
Like I
Is
said,
the
in an
studio,
academic sense,
yeah,
right?
is the studio going to make its money back? Are they going to continue it? But they will fight tooth and nail online, just arguing about, well, this one had a better opening weekend. But then the people on Gunside will say, well, that the landscape was different. It's just a mess, and no one, who cares?
Like I said, I know we cared too, just to talk about because if it does well financially, then they'll probably always learn the wrong lessons, but try to copy stuff from this movie. Something does bad, they tend to course correct and kind of project the mistakes they make.
Yeah,
That's what at least I take away from it.
I think, not to toot our own horn, we look at it objectively. We just look at it with no attachments, just pure numbers. That's what we look at it.
I would only care if I'm getting like a percentage cut of the box office. Then I would care.
Yeah,
Please
if
do
I had
well.
a
For the love of God, do
clause
well.
in Superman where I'm getting, I think Jack Nicholson for the '89 Batman had an absurd percentage of the box office that he was getting. If I had something like that stipulation in my contract, I would care. But I have
I would
no
be shilling it
attachment.
24/7.
I have no attachment. I don't care. I just like to look at the numbers. And I think anyone listening to this, they could tell from our last Superman reviews, our last two, we're not Snyder pros. I don't care about them. I don't like his movies, but
Well, it's not like we're rooting for this despite, Snyder. If it does bad, oh well.
yeah. If it does
They'll
bad, it
reboot it
does
for the
bad.
fourth time.
Yeah.
Because you forget, Green Lantern was the first attempt, and it got rebooted immediately.
Well, that was a disaster. I don't think we'll ever do that movie.
Well, it's got your boy in it. Well, I'm just saying, like people say, like this is the second reboot. It's actually the third reboot.
Well, would Superman Returns technically? Well, that was just for. That's not a universe. That was just a reboot of Superman that didn't work out.
Yes, yes.
So they had
Think of,
Green
like,
Lantern. I know what you're saying. You're talking about universe, not like franchise.
Yeah. We were talking about how it's nice when the villains are almost irredeemable.
Yes.
Lex Luthor brought one guy who helped Superman up when at the beginning
Oh
he fell.
yes.
That guy at the
He worked at like a
what do they
bakery
call
or
it?
a store.
It was like I forget what New York City has a bunch of them. I forget what they're called. Those hot
Pop-up
dog
stands.
things.
Yeah, yeah. Vendors.
Yeah, the vendor came,
Street
helped up
vendors.
Superman, and I think he gave him a hot dog one time. And then it's almost like nonchalant. He helps him because he's a big fan. Helps him, then he flies away. Lex Luthor brings the guy to his pocket dimension and point blank shoots him in the head at Superman just to get back at him.
Yeah, what a scumbag.
We're laughing. It's so over the top, irredeemably evil that I kind of love it. Like he's
Yeah.
not, oh, I'm secretly good. I'm just on the wrong path. No, I want Superman
Yeah.
dead. I will torture him any way I can imagine.
He wasn't
This guy helped him
babbling
one time.
diatribes like the Jesse Eisenberg one, where he was just speaking for the sake of it, just saying nonsense.
Like a high schooler's intro to philosophy course.
He did sound like your average Redditor trying to be smarter than he actually is. I think Lex Luthor was probably the best part of the movie, if I'm being honest. He was
Which
just
is a shame because I felt like he could have been better.
Yeah, he was just so evil. Bro was a hater. What are thoughts
I
you got
loved it.
cooking over there?
Oh, how Lex Luthor gets brought down. It wasn't even Superman capturing him. It was some stupid news article that,
Yes.
I know we have to give the reporter something to do, and reporters are bad people, but we have to give them something to do, make them look good. And even if their article was true, I don't really think that's going to bring charges. You need evidence. They could type in anything in an article. It doesn't really mean you're going to get charged immediately. It just brings the attention onto Lex Luthor.
Yeah. Oh, we should mention too, I don't know if this is one of your other thoughts. Ultraman is really a clone of Superman.
He's more like Bizarro than Ultraman because, to be honest, I'd never heard of Ultraman before. I've only heard of Bizarro.
I only
And
know Bizarro.
yes, and when they said that he was like a dumb clone of Superman, because they mentioned he's so dumb that he can barely follow commands,
Yeah, they have to
I
do
was like,
commands
oh,
for him and tell him where to go.
that's like Bizarro, even though he doesn't have Bizarro's backwards powers. It was like Bizarro, but apparently Ultraman is a character. I thought it was just like some dumb name they gave him, like, oh, he's Ultraman. Because I also thought it was Bizarro because Ultraman was shooting lasers out of his eyes. So I thought, oh yeah, that's Bizarro. Ah, I'm so smart. I know my Superman. Apparently I don't. It's Ultraman.
Yeah.
It got me.
I don't think I've ever
Although,
seen him in anything.
yeah, he seems kind of dumb. Like there's so many evil Supermans. You've got General Zod, you got Jack Sur, you've got Bizarro,
Bizarro,
Ultraman. There's probably more
Omni-Man,
missing. No, but like
Homelander.
just in
I know, I know,
DC.
I know.
Another thing too is that Superman, I guess his goodness inspired the Justice Gang to go commit international crimes. But it was funny seeing Green Lantern take out the army, like he was just flipping everybody off.
Yeah, yeah.
He's supposed to be kind of a jerk, but he didn't seem all that bad in this movie.
Maybe he'll be
I guess
more dialed up in the Lantern show.
like, I thought he's supposed to be like abrasive, but he didn't really seem abrasive. He seemed like a nice guy, just little slow.
Yeah. Well, he really just didn't want to get involved, and I can't say I blame the guy. So, do you have any final thoughts you want to say about Superman 2025?
Like all in all, it was good. Maybe partially my fault. I was a little disappointed by it, but again, not like I was expecting the moon, but I thought it could have been a little better, but still good.
I think I agree too. I did have a lot of higher expectations for this than I usually do for most movies these days. But it's not bad. It's not great. I thought it was solid. I thought it was good. And as I said earlier, at this point, that's all DC needs. They just need a good movie and a movie that also makes money. And who knows, maybe this will make a lot, maybe it won't. Only time can tell. So, with all that being said, there is going to be another superhero movie this month. So I have no expectations for Fantastic Four. So we'll see how all that goes when it comes out soon. I think it comes out in 10 days. But with all of that being said, this has been the Unbiased Opinion, where everyone's opinion is biased except ours. Colin,
Craig.
and we will see you next week.